Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Super Bowl weekend. Welcome to it. This is it for the NFL this year.
I know.
Hurts, doesn't it?
It does.
Football's over after
Well,
Sunday.
we got the UFL kicking in March, right?
It's not the UFL.
like you said.
It's a UFL.
Football's
that's
over
right.
after Sunday.
USFL with the XFL
Correct.
has become the United Football League.
Correct.
Can't wait.
I
That's
know.
great.
I'm excited. At least there'll be some football.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It's true. I actually watched a couple of games, parts of games last year. It's just weird, because it's not quite. It's not good college football, and it's certainly not NFL football.
Yeah.
That in-between sort of place. But
I miss arena football.
oh, yeah, who doesn't?
That was so much fun to go to.
Doesn't. Yeah, well, Tampa had a big arena
We used
football
to go,
team.
yeah, we used to go a lot.
Yeah.
Just watch those guys slam up against the boards.
And when it's the only game in town, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, of course, I don't think it was then, was it? They had the NFL.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Right.
But at the time that they
Yeah.
were playing. Yeah, I mean.
Right. At the time of year.
Correct.
Lot going on today. We should really probably get to it. Supreme Court case on Donald Trump.
That seems like ancient history now.
Oh, my. Doesn't it, though?
It does.
Yesterday was so insane with the news coverage.
I was looking at my notes on it, and I thought, is that old Brett? It really felt like weeks ago.
I know.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday morning. I mean, you
Right.
can't. Holy cow.
How old were you yesterday morning? I was
You don't.
12. I was 12 yesterday morning. The case is gigantic, though. Our entire system
Yep.
teeters on the brink of the decision here. If their decision goes against Trump, which I don't think it's going to,
Didn't sound like it.
No, it didn't.
but that precedent could essentially end the republic. That probably sounds hyperbolic, but I really believe it, and I stand by it. The U.S. Constitution is hanging by a thread right now. As a people, as a civilization, we need to wake up to what the left is trying to do to this country. It's incredible.
Yes, it is.
A really simplistic solution to this situation would be to, put Donald Trump on the ballot and let the voters decide.
There's a thought.
That's complicated.
I know.
There's a thought.
I know. If the people of Colorado and Maine and wherever else believe Donald Trump's an insurrectionist, they cannot vote for him.
Right.
Right? Why is that an issue? The Trump attorneys seem to be granting the premise that Trump participated in an insurrection.
Kind of weird.
It's bizarre.
I don't understand that.
Why are you just granting that premise? Why would you do that? We talked to, it was filling in for Stu this week, and we'll be on Mondays today. And, well, actually, I'm filling in for Glenn today. He's got some family emergencies going on, as he's talked about. But we talked to Alan Dershowitz on the show yesterday. Did you hear the interview with Dershowitz?
A little bit of it, yeah.
He thought Trump's lawyers were terrible.
Yeah.
And they were.
I believe
They're arguing the wrong thing.
I believe our host, Mark Levin, has teetered on the brink of calling them terrible himself.
Well, everybody should, because they are terrible.
In spite of that, like you said, the Supreme Court really
justices,
telegraphed it.
They did. I think they did.
Even Kagan. I mean, we have great clips.
Yes!
We have great clips here that,
Yeah, we need to get to them. Yeah. But you're right. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Elena Kagan, the only one who sounded, I don't know, somewhat sympathetic or neutral even, was maybe Sotomayor. I don't know. Even she was skeptical, I think, of the case that was being made before him. So Justice Kavanaugh and Colorado attorney Jason Murray.
Oh, no.
Clip. Here you go.
He had the opportunity to call witnesses remotely. He didn't use all of his time at trial. There was ample process here, and this is how ballot access determinations in election cases are decided all the time.
Okay. Second question, some of the rhetoric of your position, I don't think it is your position, but some of the rhetoric of your position seems to suggest unless the states can do this, no one can prevent insurrectionists from holding federal office. But obviously Congress has enacted statutes, including one still in effect, Section 2383 of Title 18 prohibits insurrection. It's a federal criminal statute. And if you're convicted of that, you are, it says, shall be disqualified from holding any office.
He's not charged.
And so there is a federal statute on the books, but President Trump has not been charged with that. What are we to make of that?
Yes, thank you. There you go.
I mean, that sums it up. We're done. I think we're done here.
I think it was the only time that was even mentioned, by the way. The rest of the time, everybody's just assumed, okay, yeah, he's an insurrectionist. What? How is this possible?
That's what I was thinking the whole time I'm watching that. I'm thinking, like, who is it that is saying this? Because it's nothing legal that's saying this.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're done here. Why are we even in front of the Supreme Court?
He hasn't been charged, hasn't gone to trial, and certainly hasn't been convicted. So how are we even hearing this case?
Yeah.
He's not an insurrectionist. I'm surprised he's not more pissed off about this.
I know.
Because you should be, I don't know, screaming from the rooftops. I didn't participate in an insurrection. In fact, there hasn't been an insurrection.
Thank you.
Jeez. And yet we're just proceeding as if, all right, that's a foregone conclusion. He's an insurrectionist, but can he be on the ballot? Do states have the right to remove a federal candidate from the ballot? It's bizarre. It's bizarre. Justice Elena Kagan actually made a good point.
Why should a single state have the ability to make this determination, not only for their own citizens, but for the rest of the nation?
Thank you.
Because Article 2 gives them the power to appoint their own electors as they see fit. But if they're going to use a federal constitutional qualification as a ballot access determinant, then it's creating a federal constitutional question that then this court decides, and other courts, other states, if this court affirms the decision below, determining that President Trump is ineligible to be president, other states would still have to determine what effect that would have on their own state's law.
What's your read of the question and the answer?
Jonathan Turley here.
Well, I think that the advocates for disqualification probably expected a cold reception, but this was perfectly glacial.
Yeah.
The problem for Jason Murray is that his toughest questions came from the left of the court. Many people have been saying how the conservatives are going to sandbag this entire appeal and how they have to look deeply within themselves. Many of the toughest questions were coming from Justice Jackson and Justice Kagan. And Justice Jackson notably kept on raising this first question, which is perhaps the presidency is just not covered by this provision. And she has always taken a particular interest in the 14th Amendment and had said, you know, it's plausible that he was not. And some of the other justices raised the fact that the 14th Amendment was designed to take power away from the states. And yet, as Chief Justice Roberts said, you are curiously finding that there's a provision here that radically expands that power.
I love it.
Wow. Jeez.
I mean, there are some thoughts that this thing could go 9-0.
Yeah, I think so. It should go 9-0.
It should go 9-0.
At least 8-1. At least 8-1 in favor of Trump.
Who's the one?
I think it would be Sotomayor if there is one. But I think even she will see the light on this. There's just they've got no case. Everything they're trying to say is
they can't give them even
nonsense.
one. They can't give them even one.
They can't. Shouldn't, anyway. They probably will, because that's how this stuff goes. But,
Roberts.
Man. Wouldn't that be something?
It would probably be, I think, the worst case scenario. And I would hate to count my chickens before they hatch, but I think the worst case scenario is 6-3 in favor of Trump.
Right.
With Sotomayor.
But I can't imagine that.
Man. That's what I said. Very
I can't
worst,
imagine it.
Because you can see Roberts joining liberal liberals.
But he's going to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
It has to be.
Right?
It has to be.
Wow.
Just because some dingleberry in Colorado calls him an insurrectionist, there's more than one dingleberry around the country calling him that. That doesn't make it so.
Right. That's what I don't understand.
And it doesn't make it so that you can remove him from the ballot. It's just pathetic. What they're trying to do here to our democracy is unconscionable.
Yeah.
I mean, read an article, I think it was in the Federalist from Eddie Scarry. He said there was never a purer demonstration of how traitorous Democrats are about defending democracy. Or whatever corny phrase they want to use, than what just happened at the Supreme Court. And that's really true. At the very end of oral arguments in the Colorado case determining whether the state had the right to remove Donald Trump's name from the ballot, Justice Sam Alito asked the state Solicitor General Shannon Stevenson, what's going to happen if other states retaliate by, say, removing Joe Biden from their ballots? Elected officials in at least 6 states, by the way, have suggested that might be a course of action that they'll consider. So the response from Stevenson was, Your Honor, I think we have to have faith in our system. The people will follow their election processes appropriately.
So you're defeating your own cause.
Right. I mean, that's amazing. I think what she's saying there is, well, only Democrats are evil enough to even try this. We don't think Republicans will do that. We just have to have faith in Republicans.
She's probably right.
That's about what she's saying. As you might imagine, Trump had some reaction to the Supreme Court hearing.
So I just say that in watching the Supreme Court today, I thought it's a very beautiful process. I hope that democracy in this country will continue.
I know, man.
Because right now we have a very, very tough situation with all of the radical left ideas, with the weaponization of politics. They weaponize it like it's never been weaponized before. It's totally illegal, but they do it anyway. And it has to stop. Every one of the court cases that I'm involved, every single one, civil, whether it's the attorney generals or the district attorneys. You look at Fani in Georgia. They had many meetings with the White House and with the DOJ. They went there, 8-hour meetings. That was all staged. That was a phony hoax. And now you look at it, and it is a phony hoax. And hopefully that case will be dismissed in short order. It's a disgrace to this country. But they work together with the Justice Department and the White House. And you're not supposed to do that. Every one of these cases you see comes out of the White House. It comes out of Biden. It's election interference, and it's really very sad. I thought the presentation today was a very good one. I think it was well received. I hope it was well received. You have millions of people that are out there wanting to vote, and they happen to want to vote for me or the Republican Party, or whatever you want to, however you want to phrase it. But I'm the one running, and we are leading in every poll. We're leading in the local polls, in the state polls, and we're leading in the swing state polls.
Right.
And we're leading very big in the national polls. So it's been a very great honor. We love the country.
There you go. So that's what he had to say about it. And he's right. You know?
Absolutely he is.
It's a very beautiful process. Very beautiful. And hopefully that beauty will be sustained all the way through the verdict
that would be nice.
That we're about to get.
Yes.
Because, wow, what a nightmare it would be if it goes the wrong way. Valentine's Day is this coming Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
You don't want to be in the penalty box over this. Send farm fresh flowers from Bouquets to your special person. That's short for bouquets, and they have 25% off your entire purchase right now at the Bouquets Company. Bouquets, they're definitely my go-to flower source because their flowers are cut fresh. They're sourced directly from the best flower farms, even farms on the side of volcanoes. So they stay fresher way longer. Bouquets is really easy. You can buy roses in one click, or you could choose one of their unique modern designs that you can't find anywhere else, like the 100 red roses that you've been hearing about. Valentine's Day again, this coming Wednesday. So get your order placed today. Time's running out. You don't want to miss this occasion. It's almost certainly important to her. Send her Bouquets. That's short for bouquet. BOUQS. Be the hero and go to Books.com. Use the promo code PAT. Get 25% off. BOUQS. Books.com. Promo code PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, so we got that important issue going on.
Ancient history, man. Finally done with the history lesson at the
Clear
Supreme
yesterday
Court.
morning. Hard to even remember back that. Speaking of not being able to remember.
Oh, no. I know where this is going to segue nicely.
Wow. Biden had himself a day yesterday, didn't he? He had himself a day. Obviously, he's not going to be charged. Everybody knew it was a sham to begin with. They're not going to charge him with any crime for these documents that he was storing in his garage next to his Corvette.
Well, he had some in the closet there at
some in the closet.
University, right?
Yeah, some at Penn. I don't know, some in a storage shed out back or something.
Yeah, and these first few clips that we have are early in the day before the bombshell dropped. And so this was your typical brain dead Joe kind of day. Chris, you sent these 3 clips in, right? I actually haven't seen these.
These are fun.
We haven't even gotten to the press conference yet.
These are fun. This is just Joe Biden being Joe.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Joe.
And his memory or his acuity, his cognizant function, which he doesn't have any. He's
viral?
Messed up.
Viral. He's viral.
Vigor.
Right.
He's got vigor.
Yeah. All right.
Vim and Vigor.
Here he is.
When we pushed all these programs, I said I'm going to be a president for everybody, whether you live in a red state or a green state.
Oh. So whether you live in a red state or a green state,
either color doesn't matter.
He's your president. Could be a brown state, a purple state, pink. Doesn't matter. He's got the whole spectrum covered.
What is a green state?
That's a state with a lot of shrubbery.
I see.
Yeah, some nice landscaping. Not a lot of states have
Vermont
that.
comes close.
Yeah.
Green Mountain State,
Vermont
right?
does.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it could be solar state. Wind.
Solar state, yeah.
A wind.
I see where you're
renewable
going.
energy.
Okay. Yeah.
What was the big abortion case 50 years ago? What was that? I can't remember.
I'll let you have Joe.
Joe will tell us.
Joe will tell you.
Okay.
And making Roe v. Ward the law of
Ward.
the land.
Oh, my gosh.
Making Roe v. Ward. And he's pissed. He's doing the yelling. Making Roe v. Ward. Making Montgomery Ward.
Hold on. He corrected himself.
Department store.
He thinks he got it right. He tried it twice. Hit it again,
Hit
Joe.
it again, yep.
And making Roe v. Ward the law of the land.
Oh, Lord. All right.
We're going to reopen Montgomery Ward.
I loved Montgomery Ward.
What
by
a
the way.
great department store that was.
I was a fan of Montgomery Ward.
And it's wrong. They're out of business. He was going to say Roe v. Word, maybe, and then he corrected it to Roe v. Ward.
Got it wrong and got it wrong.
Nailed it.
Got it wrong and got it wrong.
And then got it wrong. So bad.
Right,
and this next one is how we all feel.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe Biden.
Okay.
Please, thank you. If I were smart, I should leave now.
Okay.
No kidding.
He's pulled that one a few times too lately.
Yes.
Please.
Do it.
Yes.
Keep going. Start
yes,
walking.
please. Yes, please. We agree on something for a change.
No doubt.
Yes, you should. Leave now.
So then they the special report comes out about the classified documents.
Yeah, for which he's not going to be charged. Everybody knew that was going to be the case. But it's amazing because they essentially said, guy's not fit for office. Okay, we need to get him out. I mean, they didn't say that, but that's the gist of it.
Pretty much said that.
According to special counsel Robert Hur's report, Biden's mishandling of classified documents was mishandled because he couldn't remember key details. Like when he was vice president of the United States.
Sure, he broke the law, but now, I mean, he doesn't.
And he can't
even try him. We couldn't take it to court.
They used words like elderly, bad memory. I mean, they went down the road of why he should not be president.
Yeah, Mr. Hur wrote, let's see, basically it'd be impossible to convince a jury after Mr. Biden left office Let's see, that a former president well into his 80s was guilty of a felony that requires a mental state of willfulness. In other words, he's not competent to stand trial, but sure, he can go along being president. I mean, what?
That's incredible.
What obscene world are we in, man?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's no answer to that.
Let's see, Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials, including classified documents about military and foreign policy and issues of national security and foreign policy implicating sensitive intelligence sources and method. No charges, though.
In his interview with our office, Mr. Biden's memory was worse. Worse? How could it be any worse than we hear every single day? It's worse than that?
Yeah.
So behind closed doors, this guy is even worse than what we see publicly.
Yep.
He did not remember.
Interviewed him for hours, right?
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours, and he was
bad,
babbling.
Obviously bad. He did not remember when he was president, vice president, that is, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended. If it was 2013, when did I stop being vice president?
Yeah, he didn't even know when he was vice president.
Can you believe that? Well, I can, because
this is orchestrated, though. This is the Marxists realizing we're done with this guy. He's no longer useful.
The only way
we're going to drop this.
He won't leave unless we kick him out.
So we will embarrass him. We won't make it a legal thing. We will inform Kamala, you've got 10 months to be president. Get ready. She probably was dreaming of the number 25 last night. But the part of the deal, Kamala, is that you're not going to be our nominee in the fall. Get ready for Michelle Lowe by the end of this month?
So he didn't remember when he stopped being vice president. He forgot on the second day of the interview when his term began. Wow. He didn't remember even within several years when his son Beau died, which he talks about all the time.
Oh, gosh, it got even
talks
worse
about it
last
every
night.
day. Mm-hmm. And his memory appeared hazy when describing the Afghanistan debate that was once so important to him. Among other things, he mistakenly said that he had a real difference of opinion with General Carl Eikenberry, when in fact Eikenberry was an ally whom Biden cited approvingly in his Thanksgiving memo to President Obama. In a case where the government must prove that Biden knew he had possession of the classified Afghanistan documents after his vice presidency and chose to keep those documents, knowing he was violating the law, we expect that at trial his attorneys would emphasize these limitations in his recall. Yeah, so they're anticipating what a trial would look like, so we're not going to bother.
No, don't worry about
it.
it.
We're not even going to bother. So he won't face charges, but said this uncovered evidence that Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. Now, none of this is a problem legally for him, but it is for Donald Trump.
Correct.
That's interesting, isn't it? He also talked to a biographer about classified information, which they had a conniption fit over Trump supposedly doing the same thing. They were out of their minds over that.
The exact scenario. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Here's Jeffrey Toobin on the Biden report.
This is fun.
At her put in some of that stuff in this report.
Is he wearing
that
pants?
Had no place in that. There is no reason why this report had to be 300 pages. There is no reason why this fairly straightforward case had to be treated this way. And this was just like what James Comey did to Hillary Clinton when he supposedly cleared her of the use of classified information and then talked about how reckless and terrible she was. You know, the job of prosecutors is to put up or shut up. If you have a case, bring your case. If you don't have a case, shut the hell up or say as little.
Do you think he's playing politics?
I absolutely do. You know, Merrick Garland picked a Republican prosecutor, someone who worked for Donald Trump. I don't know why Merrick Garland chose him.
Because
Democrats seem to have this idea that if they pick Republicans for these tough jobs, they'll get some credit for it. It didn't work with James Comey, appointed by a Democrat. It didn't work with her. And I think this was... there was no case to be brought here, but Hur did his best to damage Biden politically.
Okay, let me see. When did Garland appoint her? Like, what was the date on that? Do we know?
I do not know.
Okay, yep, January 12th, 2023. They made this plan over a year ago to get rid of Biden, knowing that this kind of stuff would come out, and then they can, like Tubin following along,
and
the Republican guy did this to him.
It'll come out fairly close to the election, too. Yeah. So that's interesting. So they're preparing somebody.
Have to.
You would think.
This has been a year in the making, this plan against Joe.
It's really something. So, he's pissed off to begin with.
Right.
He doesn't like the fact that, he should be rejoicing because they're not going to charge him criminally. Instead, he's all pissed off. So last night, he takes to national press.
Yeah. Remember, he said they canceled that. They were going to do a press conference yesterday afternoon.
He was going to answer their
Bloomberg
questions.
then reported, just kidding. The White House has rescinded that.
Yes.
Then the bombshell comes out, and then they go, crap, we got to get this guy out in front and address this head on. And at the same time, the Putin interview is happening with Tucker. They had to do this. Oh, my gosh, you want to talk about contrast of leaders.
Oh, no kidding.
Night and day.
This is a big problem for them because the only way for them to win this battle is to get him out in front of the press, but that works against them.
Exactly. And they knew, and I think it actually goes as deep as knowing he is so bad later in the day. They knew he had a long day, and I guarantee you there was a fight inside the White House. Let him address this tomorrow. He can do this in the morning when he's all peppy. No, we want him out there now.
When he's all peppy. All peppy.
He's had his oatmeal.
He's had his medicine.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a shot late in the day.
When I'm all peppy, I sound like this, which is good.
Not a joke.
You're right. Here he is confusing his son Beau's death date.
He raised that. Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of...
And he can't.
Oh, no.
Doesn't know.
Oh.
Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him attending.
Get back on script. Yep.
Incredible. Incredible.
Horrific.
The rosary he got from Our Lady. Oh. Yeah? Your Lady of what, memory? Because it didn't work out really well if it's Our Lady of Memory.
I'm not even Catholic, and I'm thinking, I don't know, just throw out peace.
Right.
There's a pretty good opportune chance there.
Sorrow,
that you got it right. Yeah.
peace, redemption, Our Lady of something. Come on. So bad.
Oh, bro.
So bad.
So
he
what
just
do we know what this is? Our Lady of Fatima? Something?
Oh, you want to know?
He just proves the point that they're making in the report.
They sure do.
Over and over and over again. Here he is on classified documents.
Not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter?
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
But the special counsel said in the report
they did not say that.
The lying sack.
But Mr.
Yeah, they
President,
did say that.
Let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what it is referring to. It was not classified information in that document.
No, well, that's not what they said. And he lies through his teeth every single time. He was asked why he should run.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, watch me. Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They expressed concerns about your mental acuity.
No, it is.
That you were too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question?
Because I'm the most qualified person in this country to be President of the United States and finish the job I started.
Yeah. I'm sure
he is joking about that. Did you notice he didn't say, not a joke?
Not a joke.
Woo!
That was clearly a joke. So very funny moment there for him. There's so much more.
I'm sure even the lady of Guadalupe was laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Guadalupe?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We do have, like you said, several more clips to get to. We're actually going to have to redraw the maps. The world map's getting redrawn after last night's press conference.
For sure.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. That and chewing the fat, or the Fat Five. Coming.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Well, if there was any doubt before yesterday about Joe Biden's competence to hold this office, his fitness for office, I think all of that was removed.
I hope so.
I think once and for all, it's been cemented in the minds of virtually any thinking American. This guy certainly can't serve another term.
Right. I mean, we've been documenting it on this show, and obviously multiple shows, but this show for sure has been documenting his disintegration. For a long time,
Since before the election,
and it's happening before everyone's eyes, and now we're at the point where
now you can't deny it.
You can't.
Even CNN couldn't deny it.
You can't.
One of the CNN panelists yesterday, I don't know if we have this one. I don't think so. She called it. What was it she said about it? It was. I don't know. I'll have to look that up because even CNN was like, okay. This is too much, even for us. We're carrying this guy's water, but it's gotten a bit too heavy now.
No doubt. I mean, we took the keys away from Grandpa quite a while ago.
Yeah, right.
And now it's holy cow.
And he's still trying to drive.
Yeah.
So he was asked about his memory issues.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because,
close your mouth,
in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president.
No,
I've
you
put
don't.
this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
Wow.
That's my
memory has gotten
That didn't even elicit laughter from a like-minded group of people. That's amazing.
He thinks he's being funny.
He's not.
Dick. Shut up.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Agreed. Endorsed.
Jeffy, we just got our explicit rating off our podcast.
Yeah, we did. Actually.
Oh, did we get it off?
We did. We got it. We literally got it off
of this show.
Exactly. Your show right now.
Right. My show still has it. So I don't know
can
what
you
the deal
please
is.
calm down and stop with the potty mouth? I don't want to fight for another month for that. Please.
Where's your gavel? I'll allow it.
Thank you.
All right, what was the next clip? Because, it gets worse. It actually gets worse for the old man.
Well, he confused Mexico and Egypt, so we got that going for us.
How many times? How many times? Have you done that?
A million.
Yeah. Stop
They're
it.
so close, to one another, and very similar cultures, very similar people.
Do you have a degree in geography?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
I don't. So who's to say that we wouldn't all mix up the two? Here he is.
Gosh. Hello.
As you know,
Hello.
Initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
Mediterranean.
I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate.
Oh, man.
I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side.
What does that have to do with Mexico?
Oh, Mexico and Israel work hand in hand.
Dude,
what are we?
I was not
Middle
aware
Eastern
of that.
Policy.
And opening gates.
Oh, my word. That right
Incredible.
there.
It's incredible.
He should have spent his last night in the White House.
Sure. Yes.
That should
If
be
we
it
were
right
still a
there.
country, that would have been his last
Jill
night.
is in tears.
My
Jill
God.
is in tears at the White House right now.
She's enjoying. She's like, what haven't I tried on the White House menu? Now I've got to start sampling everything because
No kidding.
my time is limited here.
Get the doctors in here. Find some new juice for Brian. We got to keep this going. He needs to be peppy tomorrow.
None of it's his fault, though. It's the fault of his staff. Here he is blaming his staff.
Clip
You take
23.
responsibility for at least being careless with classified material.
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. Because it goes in and points out.
That's awesome.
Things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff. My staff.
My gosh, this guy.
So I take responsibility
Wasn't
for
me.
I didn't oversee them enough.
And then he proceeds to blame them for
Yep.
everything and not himself. He's never taken blame, accepted responsibility for anything.
No.
There's not been one admission. I remember during the Bush years, they were trying to get him to admit to mistakes. Do you remember that? I mean, over and over. It was a theme for weeks, if not months, about George W. Bush will not accept any responsibility for wrongdoing. Well, he shouldn't. We thought there were weapons of mass destruction. We proceeded on that basis. This press asks this guy nothing about taking responsibility.
Right.
It's incredible. So he did make a weird admission, though.
Oh?
I have no proof what I'm about to say.
Oh.
But it's not unreasonable to suspect that the Hamas understood what was about to take place and wanted to break it up before it happened.
What?
Wanted to break what up before it happened?
Can you figure that one out? Because I couldn't figure it out.
No, I don't. I don't know
Play
what
that
he's
again,
referring to.
Joe.
Please.
But he has no evidence of this. So
I have no proof what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But it's not unreasonable to suspect that the Hamas understood what was about to take place and wanted to break it up before it happened.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know if that was the. I don't know the context of that. I'm sorry, I haven't seen that clip. But I do know that the map, what's the word? Cartographer? That's what you are, right? A map maker? They've been hard at work. Look, we've already redrawn the maps. There we go. There you go. Mexico bumping up right there against Israel on the Gaza Strip. We have now updated all the textbooks that your kids are learning from. Kelly McCarthy sending us that, so I appreciate it.
Very funny.
Very good stuff. Mexico. I tell you, who knew they were a world player in the Middle East even, you know?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
All right, so what else we got?
Awesome.
Oh, there's a... okay, so we're talking about get out office, old man. Get out of here. Because there's a retirement home that he might be interested in staying at here. Unless he's already there, maybe.
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian foods, basically.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
Brilliant. That's so good.
That's really good.
Jules sent us that one. That was
great.
awesome.
Who
Thank
did
you.
that? Do we know?
I don't know who originally
Bill
did
did.
that.
Funny.
Bill.
Now-
Bill did. Yeah, Bill did.
And then
Way
we
to go, Bill.
have one last clip for Joe here, because he has free time now, right? If he gets out of here, he can go and
He's never going to leave.
he can do
you know
game
that,
show.
right?
You have more time
He's
to
just never going to leave.
tour the game show. Who wouldn't want a former president on their game show? Now this
This
involves,
man, also known as the worst president in United States history, loves ice cream, lounging on beaches, and sniffing children. Joe.
Who is me? Wait, where am I?
There you go. You see that? -$46,000. I miss Alex Trebek.
That's good.
Oh, the fun you can have with
That's
AI.
fun.
Am I right?
Isn't that fun?
All right.
Yeah, that's
Am
fun.
I right?
What was the
You're
question?
right.
This president worst president in history?
He's never going to leave. You know that, right?
What was that?
Well, not
mean, it's just
willingly,
not
but he's going to be removed. I mean, people are actually talking about the 25th Amendment now. I mentioned it yesterday when nobody was seemingly talking about it. Now it seems like it's all over
they
the
all
place.
went down the list last night.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say they all, there were plenty of senators and Congress people talking about it last night.
And they should be. And they should
Were they all
be.
Republicans? I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to have a Democrat start the train. You got to have one brave Democrat.
Well, we've got Dean Phillips.
Oh,
but that's going to be dismissed because
He's running
against him. All right. We got a lot of things going on. Elections in Taiwan, North Korea, on the brink, Iran increasingly aggressive. There's just a lot of global instability right now as we plunge ourselves into primary season. So how have you sheltered your savings and investments from potential major setbacks to the economy? It's not too late to diversify an old IRA or maybe a 401k into gold, and Birch Gold Group can help you do just that. As opposed to many other investments, gold thrives in times of uncertainty and is really an important part of diversifying your savings. Here's how Birch Gold can help make it a part of your portfolio. Birch Gold helps you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. And it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Just text PAT to 989898. You'll get the free info kit, go over all of the information, and just know, you got the peace of mind that it's got an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, and thousands of happy customers. So, arm yourself with the knowledge of diversification through precious metals. Text PAT to 989898 and claim your free info kit. Protect your savings with gold from Birch Gold Group.
That gray is unleashed.
So Josh Hawley said, he tweeted, time for the 25th Amendment. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Josh. For the safety of our nation, Joe Biden must resign. He could not remember basic facts about his life. He's not competent to remain as commander-in-chief, and every day that he remains, he puts America at risk. If he won't resign, the cabinet must invoke the 25th Amendment, according to Representative Mary Miller of Illinois.
I believe Mike Lee also posted if ever there was a time
this is it
to talk about the 25th Amendment.
Yes.
Now is it.
Rick Scott said this report labels Biden as a well-meaning elderly man with poor memory. That does not describe someone who should be the commander-in-chief of our armed forces and the defender of American freedoms.
Amen.
It's time for his cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment. Yeah. How do you argue with that? I really don't think you can. Where are more Democrats? Obviously, Dean Phillips is going to do this because he's running against him. But, where's everybody else? Some have made some comments along the way that, maybe it's best for him to step down. Maybe it's best for him not to run for a second term. But he shouldn't be in office today.
Right.
After his performance yesterday.
Right. The U-Haul truck should be backing up.
Yes.
Today.
And, people will say, well, that brings Kamala Harris to the presidency. Well, okay, we'll deal with that at that time. But this guy should not be president of the United States. Also, if it did turn out Kamala Harris ascended to the presidency, it'd be a very short term.
Right.
It'd be the shortest term of all time. Although McKinley, I think, was it a month for him? He died, I think, a month after the election or something. I don't know. Got pneumonia and died. Was it Harrison? Yeah. Harrison, McKinley. McKinley was assassinated, right? So it was Harrison. But we also have to get into the Vladimir Putin interview. He was interviewed by Tucker Carlson. We'll get into that.
That's awesome. That was fascinating. I can't wait to get into that.
Yeah.
You definitely see, whether you like him or not, you do see a world leader when you see Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, who spent a lot of time talking about the history of Russia. I knew it off the top of his head. And meanwhile, we've got a president of the United States who doesn't know that Mexico is not in the Middle East.
Well, he does know the thing.
Does he?
He knows the thing?
He knows the thing.
Well, he always tells us, we know that you know the thing, but I don't know that he knows the thing. You have a Fat Five?
Yeah, we can do a quick one here. Happy National Pizza Day. I'm looking forward to celebrating at some point today.
Okay.
Thank you.
By the way, just a quick programming note. We're going to scrap any effort even to do more on trivia because they just won't answer their phone
nobody
anymore.
answers anymore.
And the world's on fire.
And the world's on fire. We got a lot to deal with today. But go ahead.
So, I mean, we can still, talk football a little if you want.
Sure.
I've
got an archive video that you gentlemen are going to love.
We have the big game this Sunday, right? We've got $23.1 billion estimated what Americans are going to wager on the game. But we also have
$23.1 billion?
$23.1 billion. A lot of money. We also have the Puppy Bowl, Puppy Bowl XX this Sunday afternoon.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Is this a safe space for animal stuff? Is that
this is the Puppy Bowl. I'm telling you, it's going to be aired on Animal Planet. I did this just for you.
Just for me. Okay.
It's Animal Planet, Discovery, Discovery Plus, Max, TBS, True TV with Team Fluff with Patrick Mabones and Team Rough with Bark Purdy. And so the pregame starts Sunday afternoon.
This is the 20th?
Yeah.
that's been a
Puppy
while.
Bowl XX.
Wow. All right.
I know.
My money's on Bark Purdy.
Bark Purdy?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. Patrick Mabones might pull it out.
All right.
You never
we'll
know.
See, won't we?
You can also watch the Nickelodeon alternate broadcast from Bikini Bottom with SpongeBob and Patrick Star. They're going to broadcast the game. That I don't know. I
It's
enjoy
fun.
it on Thanksgiving.
It's fun for a few minutes, you know.
Yeah, it is. And some of the ads will air on both CBS and Nick, but they have plenty of advertisers who've just opted for the Nickelodeon only package. And so, I mean, because the Nickelodeon only package was about
a little bit cheaper,
like $200,000 to $300,000.
Okay.
For a 30-second spot on the Nickelodeon broadcast. That's a little under the $7 million for the regular broadcast.
A little,
just a tad.
Oh no,
a tad, a little under that.
Mm-hmm.
And in college football news, you see where Nick Saban, former head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, is going to join ESPN's College Game Day next season.
Oh yeah.
He's going to work, I
wonder if he's replacing.
Well, he's still on the list. Lee Corso.
Really? Corso's still on?
In their press release, they mentioned Reese Davis, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, Pat McAfee.
How long do they keep that going?
I thought for sure.
Wow.
I thought for sure that Lee was going to retire at the end of this season.
Yeah, I did too.
I really did.
Apparently not.
Kirk loves him. I mean, everybody loves him, and he's great. I know, but he's definitely. It was time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His stroke was like 10 years ago. They've carried this on for a decade.
I
which
know.
Is a tribute to them for keeping it going and not just dismissing him out of hand. But man, it's getting tougher to watch.
It is. It really is. And he does shorter and shorter segments. And Kirk holds his hand, which is great.
Yeah.
I love.
They protect
I love
him like
Kirk
crazy.
for that.
I do too.
But
come on
time.
now.
It's time. Yeah.
It's time.
Wilson Sporting Goods is giving you a chance to win an airless basketball. Fewer than 200 Wilson airless Gen 1 basketballs will exist in the world. And it doesn't need to be inflated because it's already full of holes. And I know it's going to be available February 5th, February 16th, exclusively from the Wilson website. Just log on, and if you get one, it's only $2,500.
Wow.
So comes in those three colors. Black, broken leather, and the undyed off-white.
Cool looking.
It's a 3D thing, yeah. According to Nadine Lippa, Wilson's innovation manager, 3D printing industry and the sports industry are both still learning how to scale from making one prototype ball to hundreds. So, that more is coming for the 3D Wilson airless Gen balls. I know, it looks pretty cool.
Would be
I'd like
great
to have
at
one.
schools or
yes, I would love to have one.
city centers. Yeah.
Really cool. Anyway, so good luck getting one at the Wilson website on February 16th.
Tucker's interview with Vladimir Putin. We'll get to the highlights next.
He got to go!
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
That's a good movie.
Wait, yes, it was.
No, it was
It's Friday.
Let's fight.
We've had a little discussion breakout here.
No, it was not.
What? I love that flick.
Terrible.
We're talking about AI and where the world is headed. Then it led to somehow M. Night Shyamalan movies and the twist at the end. Because you were talking about surrogates. His movies.
Yeah.
That wasn't his movie, though.
No, it was
not.
not.
But was it
No.
an M. Night Shyamalan type? And then I realized, there's been one good M. Night Shyamalan reveal at the end of a movie. And that was Sixth Sense.
Yes.
Right?
With Bruce Willis.
Except for The Village was pretty good. I liked
terrible.
it. And then you start
It was terrible.
You start disparaging The Village.
Oh,
Bro, that was a great flick. But I think you and I actually, Pat, I think you and I are in the minority on that.
Probably.
I feel like a lot of people don't like that movie. But The Village was excellent.
I thought, what was it, Signs?
Signs was good.
It was.
It was
yeah, I mean,
it was better than Villages.
No, it was not.
Oh, my God.
No, Villages was superior to Signs.
Then what did he do? He did The Woman in the Water or something?
I stopped watching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then there was the global warming, the Earth is pissed at us, The Happening. There was that, and he just kind of lost it. Wish he'd get it back, because that first movie,
early on.
There's nowhere to go but down after that.
I mean, you start off with the big hit. Though.
Yeah. All right, welcome to it. What a day. We're talking about the Supreme Court mulling over the Trump situation, whether or not he can be on the ballot in Colorado. They're going to have a lot more. I mean, another Supreme Court situation, U.S. Supreme Court, is probably coming down the pipeline from Hawaii. Hawaii's Supreme Court just ruled there is no individual right to bear arms
outside of your home.
Right? Wow. Yeah. So that's going to go to the Supreme Court.
Wrong.
Yeah. Obviously wrong.
Maybe we'll just kick you out of the union. How about that? Then you can be all by yourself. Have a nice day.
Right. We'll talk about that,
bro. I'm saying, let's do this.
In just a minute, we're gonna get to the Putin interview conducted by Tucker Carlson. Get your thoughts on that. But first, let me tell you about the Jace case. This past month, drug shortages hit a record high, and it's not good. I mean, things as vital as amoxicillin. How could there possibly be an amoxicillin
this is America.
Shortage? Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, it is, but it's the new America, where we've got 295 drugs that we desperately need that are in short supply. I mean, doctors are even kind of rationing out health care to some people. It's not good. So be prepared with the Jace case. So you're ready no matter what happens. It's this handy little case, comes with 5 antibiotics in it, and they've added some really great things like ivermectin to the list. So you can get ivermectin and have that available in case you ever think you have COVID-19. You just knock it out.
What if I wanted to, give that as a gift or something to somebody?
Wow, it's great that you would ask that question, because you can do that.
Huh?
I can?
Yes. And when I give you the gift of the Jace case, you can also specify what medications you want.
Oh my gosh.
How great is that?
I can design it to my own needs?
Yeah. JASE, awesome. JaceMedical.com. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout and you're going to save. All right?
Nice.
JASE, JaceMedical.com, promo code PAT.
So after Hawaii, we kick California, New York. Who else we kicking out? Huh?
Massachusetts.
This
I wish they would kick us out. Kick Texas out. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, we got some tweets here. Frankenpen tweets about Biden forgetting where the rosary of Beau's Rosary came from. It was Our Lady of
Guadalupe. I was under the impression.
You think it's Guadalupe. Frank thinks it's Our Lady of Pregnant Pauses.
Guadalupe may do the same thing.
Yeah. The Pickled Squirrel, Our Lady of Perpetual Brain Fog. Okay.
Oh, like that.
Lone Wolf 2965, can I get a rosary from Our Lady of Awkward Silence Trailing into Nothing?
Good stuff.
Oliver Klusoff, come on, guys. It's a rosary from Our Lady of Anyways.
Right.
Anyway.
I mean, the bad part about that is
too much.
That was him demonstrating how good of a memory he has.
Right.
Because he was addressing the fact that he forgot the details of Beau's death in the deposition.
Forgot the details.
And so when he's
right.
I know.
MS Mariani, today I learned Jeffy is quicker to name a random Catholic church than the super Catholic Joe Biden.
Well, yeah, I mean, Joe is super Catholic.
Oh,
I mean,
there's nobody more Catholic than him.
I will say, I mean, I do not wear a rosary. So,
you know what's more appropriate than is the Pope Catholic? Is Joe Biden Catholic?
No
it should be replaced with Joe now. James Miller, and that's why I fully endorse Jeffy for Pope.
I'm
do this.
all for it.
I like it.
Anna for Real T, watching the Biden presser in review. I am left with an equal mix of fear for our country and sadness at this pathetic figure being used by the left. It's an American tragedy. Really is.
Yeah.
So much for the red, white, and green. Our listeners are the best.
Really funny.
MC Pockets, just for Friday fun, can we get another playing of the yodeling Marianne Williams?
I'm normally way over there with Bernie and Elizabeth.
Over there with Bernie and Elizabeth.
Is she out now?
Yeah,
she's not going to run anymore?
We lost her.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you weren't here yesterday when that sad news broke.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, she's gone. She's gone. All right, so Tucker went to Russia. How do you think the interview went? Was it tough enough?
Oh, yeah, I think it was excellent.
I didn't watch all of it yet. What I watched, I mean, it certainly Vladimir Putin is a world leader, and most definitely I watched some of it before I watched any of the Joe Biden stuff, and my first thought was there's no way Joe Biden sits down for a 2-hour interview like that and will be competent enough to do that. No way. Not a chance.
I mean, especially when we had the clip of McCarthy saying, you can't even have a conversation with him without note cards.
Yeah.
Seriously, Joe Biden can't remember what he had for breakfast. He's certainly not going to.
Vlad sat down with Tucker. I liked in the beginning, he didn't know how long it was going to take, so he takes off his watch. Doesn't even. That was interesting to me.
I mean, the thing is over 2 hours long. It's absolutely fascinating. And then you get to the very end because Tucker says, I have one more.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Not quite. You get to the very end, and when Tucker says, I have one more question, well, then they continue to talk for another 10 minutes or so, and then they're done, and Putin goes, do you have any more questions, or should we end it here? He was ready to keep going.
Right, well, Tucker said in the beginning, right, there was no time limit on the interview, so, I mean, they were the ones that ended it. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, Vlad was ready to go. Let's go. I mean, he's in the past, when he does his state of Russia or whatever talk that he does every year, he babbles on forever anyway. I mean, he loves doing it. He filibusters forever.
I will say, though, this is the greatest.
If that was the real Vladimir Putin, by the way.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
I don't know that they're.
This is interesting because who's closer to death? And remember how they tried to convince us that Putin's on his way out. He's on his deathbed. And you watch some of the videos and you're like,
okay.
Oh, maybe. And then you contrast Putin last night with Tucker and Joe Biden in front of the press. But that translator, I don't know who you are out there, bro, but you're the greatest translator of all time. You had the sighs, the laughs, everything. He didn't stumble once. Whoever the translator was for Putin into English was
If you guys love him so much, why don't you marry him? Comrades. Jeez. I mean,
okay.
Such a glowing review of Vladimir Putin.
And don't forget his translator, too.
And his translator.
That's a package deal.
And his orchestra.
Right.
All of it. But you're right. If Joe Biden did this interview, at the end of it, there'd be an M. Night Shyamalan review that he's been dead the whole time.
Case could be made for Joe.
Yeah. But here was Putin's thoughts on the U.S. dollar.
Mm-hmm. To use the dollar as a tool of foreign policy struggle is one of the biggest strategic mistakes made by the U.S. political leadership. The dollar is the cornerstone of the United States power, but they won't stop printing. What does the debt of $33 trillion tell us about? As soon as the political leadership decided to use the U.S. dollar as a tool of political struggle, a blow was dealt to this American power. I would not like to use any strong language, but it is a stupid thing to do and a grave mistake. Look at what is going on in the world. Even the United States allies are now downsizing their dollar reserves. Seeing this, everyone starts looking for ways to protect themselves. But the fact that the United States applies restrictive measures to certain countries, such as placing restrictions on transactions, freezing assets, etc., causes grave concern and sends a signal to the whole world. Do you even realize what is going on or not? Does anyone in the United States realize this?
Joke's on him. Our U.S. debt is not $33 trillion.
Thank you.
It's $34 trillion.
Yeah, don't you shut your face,
yeah.
Mister. You
shut
know history so much.
Pie hole, Mr. Commie.
You're talking about being out of touch. I think that clip right there proves
that was like
guy.
yesterday. We were 33 trillion.
Now, in fairness, this was recorded just a couple of days ago, so it's probably gone up a trillion since.
I don't want to use strong language, but you're stupid.
Stupid, yeah. I mean, he talked about U.S. inflation, and I mean,
and yeah,
he knows much more than the average American when it comes to our economy. And he talked about how the rise of BRICS and how not that long ago they were 16% of the world's economic
GDP,
power,
yeah.
and now they're stronger than the G7. I mean, BRICS, man. That's that's what he said. He said that you can't stop a rising sun. Yeah, that hurts.
Okay.
It's
we'll see.
We can.
Yeah,
So,
we'll see.
Okay, we'll just keep printing the money. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Here he is on Viktor Yanukovych election. That was a CIA coup, apparently.
As the Americans requested, Yanukovych did use neither the armed forces nor the police, yet the armed opposition committed a coup in Kiev. What is that supposed to mean? Who do you think you are? I wanted to ask the then U.S. leadership.
With the backing of whom?
With the backing of CIA, of course. The organization you wanted to join back in the day, as I understand. We should thank God they didn't let you in.
Yeah.
Although, it is a serious organization. I understand. My former vis-a-vis in the sense that I served in the first main directorate, Soviet Union's intelligence service.
Yeah, no kidding.
They have always been our opponents. A job is a job.
Yeah, that's a fun little fact about Tucker. Yeah.
Glenn made a prediction that Putin would try to turn this around and make it about America, and he actually did do that.
Yeah.
He made it all about us.
He sure did, and he talked about, and the clip was too long, so I didn't have them pull this, but he went through this fascinating behind-the-scenes discussion about how Bill Clinton told him privately, because he said, hey, what if Russia wants to join NATO? And Bill Clinton was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. And then later on, they were having dinner, and Clinton comes up to him. He's like, yeah, I talked to my team, and no, you can't join NATO. So then that was one story. Then there was another story with George W. Bush, and Putin pointed out, hey, you've got CIA assets helping out with the Chechnyan rebels in my country. And Bush was like, what in the world? I'm going to kick their ass. And that was the quote. And so then the follow-up between Putin and the CIA, waiting to hear. And finally the CIA got back to him and was like, yeah, we're not changing our policy. It's for the best there that we do that. I mean, there was story after story. Russia trying to get in with like a cooperation with Europe and the U.S. for like, missile defense and stuff. And totally just writing off any kind of cooperation with Russia.
If you believe it.
If you believe this stuff, right?
I mean, I loved his history lesson, where he talked about how, which Joe Biden could not do, by the way. He talked about how Russia started like in 862. And, Ukraine has been ours since, 988.
He spent the first half hour of this is just a history lesson of the history of Russia. Because that's where he went, he took Tucker and he was just like, so is this going to be a conversation or what are we going to do here?
And they laughed. And Tucker laughed and said, let's go. It's fine.
And so he let him just talk. And that's Tucker addressed that at the beginning when he said, hey, I thought he was going to filibuster the whole time. No, it was history.
Here's Putin on how the war started with Ukraine.
That was 8 years before the current conflict started. So what was the trigger
2014
for you? What was the moment where you decided you had to do this?
Спровоцировал конфликт изначально.
Initially, it was the coup in Ukraine that provoked the conflict. By the way, back then the representatives of 3 European countries, Germany, Poland, and France, arrived. They were the guarantors of the signed agreement between the government of Yanukovych and the opposition. They signed it as guarantors. Despite that, the opposition committed a coup, and all these countries pretended that they didn't remember that they were guarantors of the peaceful settlement. They just threw it in the stove right away, and nobody recalls that. I don't know if the U.S. know anything about the agreement between the opposition and the authorities and its three guarantors who, instead of bringing this whole situation back in the political field, supported the coup. Although it was meaningless, believe me. Because President Yanukovych agreed to all conditions, he was ready to hold an early election which he had no chance of winning, frankly speaking. Everyone knew that. Then why the coup? Why the victims? Why threatening Crimea? Why launching an operation in Donbass? This I do not understand. That is exactly what the miscalculation is. CIA did its job to complete the coup.
So, yeah,
I think
nothing's
one
his
of
fault,
the
though.
deputy secretaries
Nothing's
of
his
state
fault.
said that it cost a large sum of money, almost 5 billion. But the political mistake was colossal. Why would they have to do that? All this could have been done legally, without victims, without military action, without losing Crimea. We would have never considered to even lift a finger if it hadn't been for the bloody developments on Maidan.
Sure.
Because we agreed with the fact that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, our borders should be along the borders of former Union's republics. We agreed to that. But we never agreed to NATO's expansion, and moreover, we never agreed that Ukraine would be in NATO.
I mean, that is problematic.
We did not agree to NATO bases there without any discussion with us.
All right,
For
I've heard
decades,
enough of his
we-
babbling. We did agree that Ukraine would not be a part of NATO, and we went back on that.
Yes.
That I will grant him. The rest of this is, garbage, because he didn't do anything wrong. It's just his propaganda that he's been using from day one. All right.
It's fascinating how everyone's so upset about this interview, and I know we played a clip from the Tucker Carlson Instagram account. I don't know how many views that has, but I just looked moments ago at his X account where the interview was posted, and I know it also was posted on TuckerCarlson.com. It's only got 100 million. 100 million views.
So it's kind of a flop,
So
sort of a failure.
Tucker, what are you doing?
That's
what
too
are
bad.
you doing?
That's
I know.
sad.
I know.
It's sad.
He needs some pointers.
Yeah. When you absolutely positively have to buy or sell a home, and let's face it, sometimes you just got to. You want a real estate agent that is great and can get the job done for you. That's where realestateagentsitrust.com comes in. It's Glenn's company, and he started it a long time ago because he was tired of dealing with incompetent real estate agents, and he figured you might be too, because buying and selling homes, it really sucks. It's a lot of work, it's confusing, it's stressful, and you don't want to be making a lot of mistakes in this economy. The agents they work with are the best in your area. They're top sellers. They know the lay of the land. They know the best places to get you and your family where you need to go. So whether it's across the street or across the country, Real Estate Agents I Trust. Most of these agents are big fans of the show, too, so you're going to have things in common right from the beginning. Do yourself a favor and your family a favor and check them out today. It's Real Estate Agents I Trust. It's a free service that we provide to you. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got some tweets here. Clemson Mimi tweets, I love Sixth Sense and The Village. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So do Keith and I.
Okay. Great.
No accounting for Jeffy. Everybody knows that. Slappy Matt tweets, how about we offer a trade? D.C. gets a senator and we kick out Hawaii. All right.
No.
No? You don't like that? Okay. Sarah the Roma, if there was a translator for Biden, they would have given up.
So true.
Ackerton Tom, Putin knows more about America than most Americans. Yeah, his slanted version of
some,
America.
Yes.
Yeah, he thinks he knows everything. He doesn't.
Correct.
But he said that the war in Ukraine should have already ended. Here's that. What a little something like this.
16?
Tucker Carlson interview last night.
We support this.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I'm not misunderstanding what you're saying. I don't think that I am. I think you're saying you want a negotiated settlement to what's happening in Ukraine.
Right. And we made it. We prepared a huge document in Istanbul that was initialed by the head of the Ukrainian delegation. He affixed his signature to some of the provisions, not to all of it. He put his signature and then he himself said, we were ready to sign it and the war would have been over long ago, 18 months ago. However, Prime Minister Johnson came, talked us out of it, and we missed that chance.
Yeah, Boris Johnson. He threw Boris Johnson under the bus multiple times during this interview as,
wow,
we could have had peace, but Boris Johnson convinced the Ukrainians, no. So...
I mean, Putin is just a man of peace. The man just wants to get along with everybody, and we won't let him. Damn it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why are we such warmongers in this country where we're forcing his hand to have to go in and take over Ukraine?
Now, this country sent their lackey, Boris Johnson, over there.
Right?
Mucked up the works.
Could have been over a long time before it even started.
Really? Yeah.
I'm sure he wishes he didn't have to do.
You did ask a very good question in the middle of that. Is that why is this country, the United States, such warmongers?
Yeah.
I mean, I realize you're not applying it to this necessarily, but that is a good question. Why are we, as a nation, such warmongers? Why can't we mind our own business?
That would be nice.
Yeah, why can't we stop?
We stopped doing that a long time ago.
Can we stop funding wars if we're not going to physically participate in them? Maybe we could stop funding billions upon billions of dollars into conflicts that apparently have nothing to do with us. That's what I'm told.
But let's not make Vladimir Putin out to be a hero here. The guy's a douchebag.
I'm talking about our nation.
He's an evil freaking douchebag, and that's what he did last night. He made it about us. Yeah. It's not about us. And Tucker should have said that to him. He should have said, look, Mr. Putin, this is not about us. What about you? What are you doing to end this war right now? All right? Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Russians have died. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians have died. Enough! When are you going to end it? When are you going to end it now?
Right.
All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Russia, Russia, Russia.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
And welcome, 888-900-3393. Tucker was in Russia. Did a 2-hour interview with Vladimir Putin.
2 hour plus, yeah.
CNN's calling it a softball interview because they're jealous, frankly.
You aren't kidding.
They're jealous. Had they gotten the interview instead of him, it would have been the most incredible journalistic coup of all time. But because it's Tucker Carlson, he's a traitor to the country.
Absolutely. I mean, that CNN, they're getting rid of the morning show and giving people the boot and telling people they have to reapply for jobs because they're reshaping their approach. Okay.
Are you?
All right.
Yeah, they've been saying that for years now, and I see scant little evidence. Every once in a while, you'll get some kind of non-biased story, or at least a less biased story than usual, and you're like, whoa, okay. And then they're right back to it with everything else they do. But Putin was asked who blew up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Who blew up Nord Stream?
You for sure.
Oh,
I was busy that day. Nate, do you have? I did not blow up Nord Stream. Thank you, though.
У вас лично, может быть, есть алиби. У вас лично.
You personally may have an alibi, but the CIA has no such alibi.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you have evidence that NATO or the CIA did it?
If so, present it. Let's see it. Let's see your evidence.
Вы знаете,
You know, I won't get into details, but people always say in such cases, look for someone who is interested. But in this case, we should not only look for someone who is interested, but also for someone who has capabilities. Because there may be many people interested, but not all of them are capable of sinking to the bottom of the Baltic Sea and carrying out this explosion.
Like Russia?
These two components should be connected. Who is interested and who is capable of doing it?
But I'm confused. I mean, that's the biggest act of industrial terrorism ever, and it's the largest emission of CO2 in history. Okay, so if you had evidence, and presumably given your security services, your intel services, you would, that NATO, the US, CIA, the West did this, why wouldn't you present it and win a propaganda victory?
There you go. Good question.
в войне пропаганды очень сложно.
In the war of propaganda, it is very difficult to defeat the United States. Because the United States controls all the world's media and many European media.
All right.
The ultimate beneficiary of the biggest European media are American financial institutions. Don't you know that? So it is possible to get involved in this work, but it is cost prohibitive, so to speak. We can simply shine the spotlight on our sources of information, and we will not achieve results. It is clear to the whole world what happened, and even American analysts talk about it directly.
Right, but no Russian analysts talk about it because they fall out of a window from the 45th story of a building accidentally. So that's why no Russians talk about it. I mean, is it possible we did it and we've discussed that? Yeah, I guess. But everything is not America's fault, and that's what he made it into. He just absolutely made it that. It's irritating. It's irritating.
It's almost as if you don't like him.
It's almost like that. Yeah, I don't like him.
Oh, so it is like that.
It is like that. That's probably why it seems like that. He also spoke to the possibility of U.S. troops coming to Ukraine.
One of our senior United States senators from the state of New York, Chuck Schumer, said yesterday, I believe, that we have to continue to fund the Ukrainian effort or U.S. soldiers, citizens could wind up fighting there. How do you assess that?
Это провокация.
This is a provocation, and a cheap provocation at that.
Американские солдаты должны воевать.
I do not understand why American soldiers should fight in Ukraine. There are mercenaries from the United States there. The bigger number of mercenaries comes from Poland, with mercenaries from the United States in second place and mercenaries from Georgia in third place.
Безусловно.
Well, if somebody has the desire to send regular troops, that would certainly bring humanity to the brink of very serious global conflict. This is obvious. Do the United States need this? What for? Thousands of miles away from your national territory. Don't you have anything better to do? You have issues on the border, issues with migration, issues with the national debt. More than $33 trillion. You have nothing better to do, so you should fight in Ukraine? Wouldn't it be better to negotiate with Russia? Make an agreement, already understanding the situation that is developing today, realizing that Russia will fight for its interests to the end, and realizing this, actually return to common sense, start respecting our country and its interests, and look for certain solutions. It seems to me that this is much smarter and more rational.
Man of peace.
He's a man of peace. He mentioned the mercenaries there, Poland leading the way. He did mention during that interview, for what it's worth, like we're not going to go into Poland and Latvia.
He did say that. Yeah. He's got no interest in that.
Yeah, unless they attack us first. So, I mean, for what that's worth. And by
I'm
the
sure
way,
Latvia is probably massing troops at the border right now.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
But to your point on his response on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, he could have easily just answered that with, look at the words of your own Biden administration officials and President Biden himself. I mean, they have all but said that they did that. They've alluded to that. They've walked it right up to the edge. Whether it's, what's her name? Oh, gosh, you got Jake Sullivan. Obviously, Biden has said it. Newland. I mean, all three of them have walked it right to that edge. That should have been his response to that.
In what way have they walked it to the edge? What did they say?
We've played the clips on this show where they said it
wouldn't exist.
Yeah, like that will not. That Biden said
the explosion.
Yeah, Biden said. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but if you've got this evidence, you don't give me the crap. We control all propaganda on this planet. Show it to us. Show us the evidence. Why wouldn't you do that? Of course he would do that if he had
coming from Russia.
Yeah, right.
Zero.
Right. Absolutely none.
Yeah, here's the quote.
Let's see your evidence that the CIA did it.
Yeah, she says if Russia invades Ukraine one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward. And
that doesn't mean they're going to blow it up.
No. But I'm saying that we've played these clips.
I know
that clearly illustrate that we have a vested interest in seeing Nord Stream 2 not exist. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so does he. He's got a vested interest in the same thing. Here he is on the Nazi that was embraced.
Oh, yeah, the parliament in Canada.
By Canada?
Yeah, because this...
The president of Ukraine visited
Canada. This is piggybacked off of him trying to explain the reasons why Russia is in Ukraine. And one of his justifications is the Nazification of Ukraine and in recent years especially. So that's what this is all about.
The president of Ukraine visited Canada. The story is well known, but being silenced in the Western countries. The Canadian Parliament introduced a man who, as the Speaker of the Parliament said, fought against the Russians during the World War II. Well, who fought against the Russians during the World War II? Hitler and his accomplices. It turned out that this man served in the SS troops. He personally killed Russians, Poles, and Jews. The SS troops consisted of Ukrainian nationalists who did this dirty work. The president of Ukraine stood up with the entire Parliament of Canada and applauded this man.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. We saw that with our own eyes. So... that's pretty tough to deny that part of it. But Putin talked about the last time he spoke with Joe Biden.
Yesterday, I'm sure.
When was the last time you spoke to Joe Biden?
I cannot remember when I talked to him. I do not remember. We can look it up.
You don't remember?
No.
Been a while.
Why?
No.
Do I have to remember everything? I have my own things to do. We have domestic political affairs.
Well, he's funding the war that you're fighting, so I would think that would be memorable.
Yeah, you would think.
Well, yes, he funds, but I talked to him before the special military operation, of course. And I said to him then, by the way, I will not go into details, I never do, but I said to him then, I believe that you are making a huge mistake of historic proportions by supporting everything that is happening there, in Ukraine, by pushing Russia away. I told him repeatedly, by the way. I think that would be correct if I stop here.
What did he say?
What did he say?
Ask him, please. It is easier for you. You are a citizen of the United States. Go and ask him. It is not appropriate for me to comment on our conversation.
But you haven't spoken to him since before February of 2022.
No, we haven't spoken.
Wow. That's interesting. This is the leader of the government of the country that you say controls absolutely everything. All propaganda on the face of the planet, and you don't know when you last spoke to him? That's interesting, isn't it? Huh. All right.
My staff. I know I talked to him.
Whatever. I can look it up. It's obviously it's been since before the invasion is what he's saying.
Right.
We haven't spoken since the invasion? That's well over a year now.
Yeah, since before it.
And being the man of peace that he is, you would think he would reach out.
Yes, you would think so. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, fascinating though. Just an interesting interview with Vladimir Putin. I don't know where you go from here.
I don't know.
With peace in Ukraine with these Russians.
But I mean, look, somebody has got to talk peace. Someone has to.
Right.
It has to stop.
You know, Trump has talked about talking peace with him, but I don't hear Biden or any Biden officials talking about making peace with Russia or bringing him to the table and let's get this thing settled. Okay, rather than sending you another $60 billion in weapons and cash, and you can spend it on whatever corruption you want, how about we all sit down together at the table and work this thing out?
Yeah, that's one thing that Putin did say. He said that he got along well with George W. Bush and Donald Trump.
Interesting. And he hasn't spoken with Biden in over a year, at least. Wow. Kind of tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It tells me that Joe was busy with Xi Jinping.
And the 17,000 miles that he's traveled with Xi. Yeah. On the Tibetan Plateau? Is that where he was?
Yes, he was.
Okay. All right. All right. Are you the same person you were, guys, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Because I'm definitely not. You wake up one day and you realize you just don't have the energy or lean muscle mass you once did. Lost a little bit of the get up and go that you once had.
Why are you looking at me?
Just do the no reason. Are you a little sensitive there? As we age, we lose testosterone, the man hormone, the fire that sort of ignites your life. The powerful testosterone booster in Nugenix Total T is what you need. It revitalizes your life. It'll bring your old self back. You feel so much better once you have that energy. So tap the brakes on the aging process. Every day that passes, you lose testosterone. That means less muscle, less energy, less get up and go everywhere, including the bedroom. So if you're really ready to get your energy back, that vim and vigor back, then please go with Nugenix Total T. Nugenix Total T boosts free and total testosterone to help you get the old fire back at work and in the gym. Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster with Testofen. It'll help you turn back the clock. It'll re-energize your life. Prove it to yourself risk-free. Try Nugenix Total T before you buy it. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. New energy, new muscle mass, drive, more passion in your life. Get your complimentary sample when you text 231-231 and enter the keyword unleashed. And you'll get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T by texting 231-231. Enter the keyword unleashed. Do it right now, and you'll get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X as well, the newest and most powerful fat incinerator ever. It's got key ingredients to help you lose fat fast and get lean fast. Absolutely free. Again, text 231-231. Enter the keyword unleashed. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. It's the #1 recommended brand by primary care physicians based on an independent survey conducted by IQVIA 2022.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Chris, walk us through this Apple Vision Pro fun that we've got lined up here.
Yeah, so go ahead and play it, Joe. This is like the best moments that I've found of people using Apple Vision Pro. So go for it, Joe.
Before this meme is perfect now, because this right here is where we are in America, right? You got the wonderful meme where the guy's checking out the girl. No, he's now walking around with the Apple things.
I want one.
I know. How much are they? 3,500. You said?
Yeah, 3,500.
Okay, I want to see. So I want to see this montage.
This
of people
is
doing
go for it, Joe.
And then the battery's another 200, I believe.
Whoa, nice vehicle there with the Cybertruck.
Now he's making fun of him.
Yeah.
But so here's a real one. Actually, someone driving.
Oh, bro.
While wearing it.
Hands on the wheel.
Here's another one. Also wearing it and driving.
Oh, yeah, but he's letting the Tesla drive.
Yes.
Right.
And you can still
it's
see
a passenger
Yeah.
This is a surgery, brain surgery. The doctor's getting prepped to do brain surgery.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Using the Apple.
Using the Apple Vision
Pro.
This is, of course, walking your dog and using your vision.
Stop.
Jeez. How many people are going to get killed wearing this thing? Walking around on the street.
Like this guy. This guy's actually crossing the street.
Wow.
But you can see, again.
He just sent a text, by the way. This is awesome. This is
looks like mental
you
illness.
can play videos as if they were sitting right in front of you.
Backpack.
All right.
Nope. It's gonna be a sunny day today.
You can learn how to play the piano.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Jeez. So it lights up where your fingers are supposed to go. Nice.
You can work on that car.
Oh, yes!
Connect the diagnosis to the vehicle.
Yes.
And work on that car. Watch that YouTube video on how to fix it.
Oh, wow.
Schematics.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is a promo. Is this from Apple?
But I want to give full credit to the Simpsons.
Okay.
Because the Simpsons predicted they'd go for it, Joe.
Huh. And it goes a little something.
What clip is it?
Like
this.
It says Simpsons predict Apple Vision.
I just don't see it on the sheet.
No, it's not on the sheet.
Oh. Then I don't know.
But did you send it in?
Simpsons predict Apple Vision thingy.
Apparently,
Never mind.
Apparently, no.
I'll add it on post. So for those of you that are watching on YouTube right now.
See, this is why Chris is awesome. He is doing a service for the audience.
You watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
This is the Simpsons.
Wow.
Oh, that's homework.
Look at that. The Simpsons did predict it.
Here it is. Oh, cool. Mo, come on. Oh, no.
Yeah, well,
this is going to happen.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, Fisher.
It's going to happen.
This is my favorite part right here. This is going to happen. You know it is.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
That's really good
So
stuff.
well done,
That's good.
Simpsons. You predicted this.
It's incredible. Like they've predicted everything else that has
Donald
ever
Trump
happened.
running for president, all that.
Yeah.
Well, right now, as of
Incredible.
right now, the Vision Pro does not have any porn. So if they want it to succeed, how about you?
Jeez.
How about you
Really?
update your catalog?
Right. No, Fisher, that's not right.
Since it's big game weekend, I thought we could play this clip from Andy Reid as a 13-year-old kid. He's the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs now. And this is when he was 13 years old. I just love this clip. This is a competition he did. Look at him compared to the kids he's competing against. Yeah. Now, they are ages 8 to 13, but whew, that is a big boy throw right there.
Yeah.
The funny thing about
it's a punt pass kick competition,
Yep.
right?
To throw farther than that.
Listen to you, Jeff.
That's wind
That's
up.
quite a ways for a 13-year-old.
So a couple of fun little things from this is see how
Did
the
he win?
kids. I don't know. I could
think
never
he
find
did.
that out.
I think he
You
did.
show just a shot of him with all the kids there lined up because, like I said, it's between ages 8 and 13. He was big for a 13-year-old, and compared to the other kids, he's ginormous there. But they all had like kid jerseys. There's a halftime of Monday Night Football. They had to go and get a jersey from one of the running backs for the Rams.
Oh, wow.
To get him to have a jersey for this competition.
That's how big he was.
Yeah, and apparently he tells a story that his brother was in college at a bar somewhere, wherever, and had no idea his brother was going to be on Monday Night Football at halftime. He didn't tell him.
Oh.
And he saw it at the bar, live and that was just a great.
Yeah, that's cool.
Andy Reid's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's awesome. His players love him too, which tells you a lot because he's successful and the players love him. That's kind of an unusual combination there.
Are you picking the Chiefs this weekend?
I don't really care. I don't really care. I got no skin in the game. No dog in the fight.
You have a prediction. Maybe you don't care, but you have a prediction.
Yeah, probably Chiefs. Chiefs probably win.
Taylor Swift's just going to win, yeah. I agree.
I'm going to be rooting for San Francisco, but Kansas City's going to win.
And based on what? Why?
I just like to see Kansas. I'd like to see San Francisco win.
All right.
I'd like to see Brock Purdy
Yeah.
in
I like Brock
year
Purdy.
2.
Have you seen
win a Super Bowl just to shut up the naysayers?
Have you seen the articles saying, what do conservatives do? Do they root for the liberal San Francisco team or the pro-Pfizer spokesman team? Whatever.
Well, I mean, predominantly the NFL was all pro-Pfizer, so.
Yeah, you had to have the shot to exist in the NFL for a while. I think did they stop that? I think they eliminated
they don't even test for COVID anymore in the NFL.
Right. Which is, why not?
Yes.
Everybody who's healthy, you're going to have a cold. Essentially, it's a cold.
Yes.
It's what we should have been doing all along.
Yes.
Yes.
But whatever.
All right. What'd you just say to me, Chris?
Yeah, like Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered. Make sure you watch it on the Blaze Network.
Right. Her new show, Sarah Gonzalez.
Unfiltered.
I haven't seen that
Unfiltered.
set. Have you been out there? I gotta see
it's all pink.
So
it's
she
like
sort of copied
bomb.
the name of this show and just instead of Unleashed, it's Unfiltered. Okay. I see what's going on.
Yeah.
So SGU, PGU. Oh, that's confusing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's great. So make sure you check out her show, which is right before Stu's show in primetime here on The Blaze. We also have, I believe, Jeffy in the gym.
Oh, yeah, this is
this has got to be repulsive.
I didn't realize people were filming.
Yeah, people were filming.
Clip 33. This is Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher workout routine is what we're watching here.
Okay.
Look at this. All right. God, what in the world?
I mean, that's obviously not Jeffy, but it's Jeffy-like.
No.
These are all the things this guy learned
That's fair.
from Jeffy in the gym.
Thank you.
Why are you training for that? What are you training for?
That was a long time ago.
He just likes to be fit.
I'm surprised Pat didn't say
likes to be fit.
That's CGI. Because, I mean, that is insane.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Look at this.
Look at this with the, wow.
Go.
No way. You could really hurt yourself. Don't try this at home,
Do
kids.
not. Well,
Don't try this at home.
Unless you're Jeff Fisher. Or Jeff Fisher is your spotter.
Jeff Fisher-like.
Yeah.
My oldest son could do that.
Yeah.
That's really something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis would do that.
Really? Could he still do it?
With you as his spotter, right?
Thank you.
Obviously. All right. Have a great Super Bowl weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. And then, of course, fill it in for Glenn later on today.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I keep forgetting I'm president.